So if you need a set of summer riding gloves that you want to be comfy, decently protected, flow a lot of air, you got to spend a bunch of money, right? Maybe not. I got one pair that I think is more than good enough for the job. We'll see how it holds up. That was cheaper than my SMX V1's Air V1 or SMX-1 Air V2. Gotcha. $59 for these, right? Joe Rocket Turbulent glove, like $47. Most of the same features. They do it a little differently. I don't honestly think they're built quite as well. But for what's essentially a disposable glove you're going to destroy by sweat, heat, and just riding, pretty good deal. I also picked up Joe Rocket Eclipse. These, very different beast. These are like $26. As you can see, it's basically a flat glove. There's no pre-curve to it. There is minimal padding. There's a little bit of cushioning inside there, but it's like open cell foam. You know, some knuckle protection. You're giving yourself a layer of leather you've got to wear through if you go down. They flow a lot of air, and they are amazingly comfortable. So let's talk about where I think these fit and my opinion. First, you've seen me talk about these. I have talked about the SMX-1 Airs several times. I think these are a great general purpose street glove if you need the airflow, if you want the airflow. If you are not really pushing boundaries, if you're not doing things where like going down is almost expected, I think these are a great glove. Pretty comfy, reasonably priced, decently attractive if you're into the sporty look. They make all black if you want something a little more subdued. And good protection for what you're getting. You know, you're not getting race level protection, you're not getting stunter level protection, but you've got some serious wear pattern here where you're going to slide on this and there's some material there. And I will take some close-up pictures. You've got some reinforcement in the thumb, okay? You've got pads along the knuckles. You've got leather that comes down over your upper fingers. Obviously the main knuckle protection. Pinky slide protection extending all the way out, okay? That's not impact protection. That is slide protection. That is making sure that when you go like that and your hand is sliding on the ground, that there's more than one lightweight layer in place. There's a little bit more material there. Good dexterity, good ventilation. Decent glove, right? $59. These aren't $100. They're not $150. They're not $200. I think they're worth every penny. But I've got to revise whether I think they're the best budget street glove. I don't think these are nearly as pretty. I don't think they've got the style and the class that these do. But as a general purpose road glove for casual riding, instead of extra material for reinforcement, you've got a pad here. Okay, not bad. Pinky reinforcement for slide protection comes all the way out. Nothing on the thumb, no reinforcement on the thumb. There's a little reinforcement here where it contacts the grip, right in here. But that's wear protection, not if you go down. Same thing with the padding here. That's wear protection. That's not from your hand coming down. But you've got a little extra here. And this TPR does come pretty far around. When you're wearing the glove, let me put it on. And I liked how fast that goes on. Very quick. But you can see that TPR comes pretty far around. Now that's on my actual wrist. But let's talk about that, because one of my main complaints with these is how short they are. I think the short cuff is a little too short. See? This is very short on my wrist. This comes down a little further. I prefer this. This, I always feel like it's right there. It's not quite long enough. This line where the leather ends is a little high on my wrist. And the reason for that is because this is actually meant to be your slide material. This is a slow wear slide piece, basically. Whereas this, they give you some leather, right? I don't know which one's better. I just know that To me, this, I feel that line. This, it's a continuous piece of leather underneath. It's comfy. They both have some shape to them. They both flex really well. They're both very comfy. These, a little tight through here, when you go to reach for a control, it stretches out tight, you know? This, I've got full mobility. It's not bad. No binding. These do bind up a little bit in that sense. It hasn't been a problem. You just got to remember that it's there. You go, particularly on my left hand, I go to reach for my blinker, and I don't quite get there. I got to move my hand a little. I'm sure I'll get used to it. I'm sure it's leather. It'll stretch a little bit, right? Either way. Notice how easy that was to get on and off, right? This one's a little tougher. And these are broken in. These aren't broken in yet. I've done like 4 rides in these. I didn't expect much. I picked these up to be backup for these. These were my main glove, and I was thinking, you know, it's going to be hot and sweaty this summer. I would like an alternate pair so I can kind of rotate through and not destroy these with, you know, just the abuse that creates. I figure, you know, one more pair. Let me try a different brand. I was going to buy the $100 version of these, the SMX2s, as a little more heavy duty. Use those on my more spirited rides, right? I'm like, you know what? It's really not that important for me. Let me just try a different company. Let's try a different thing. I wasn't expecting much. Pretty impressed. Very happy. The more I use these, the more I like them. The other ones, the Eclipse, these are a very lightweight, flimsy, you know, construction glove. There's nothing to these. These are really a lightweight work glove with a little bit of moto addition. Some reinforcement through here, but the stitching is right at the surface. People complain the stitching fails on these, and I can see why. It's right there. On these, the stitching is kind of pulled tight into the leather. I'm sure they, you know, they might have grooved the leather. It's just designed to protect the stitching more. This, there's not a whole lot of protection for that stitching. It's right there on the surface. Way less padding, no significant reinforcement on anything. It is what it is. It's you go down once, you're throwing the gloves out. You go down a parking lot, you're probably done with these gloves, but they're gonna do the job at lower speeds. These will be my I'm running to the grocery store kind of gloves. They're so quick, easy, on, off, comfortable to ride in. It's like you're not wearing anything. Like, this is as close as I have found to that riding without gloves feel. And I don't want to ride without gloves, but I sure want it to feel like I'm riding without gloves, right? Why wouldn't you? Now, don't be fooled. Construction quality is not at the $50 range, much less the $60 range. You're still paying for a significant amount of materials, labor, shipping, overhead of the business. At 26 bucks, that's coming out of the extras. That's coming out of all the extras, the little extra finishing touches, the inset stitching, the padding, the reinforcement. Which one am I going to wear on a twisty country road? Hell yeah. Which one am I wearing cruising to work? Yeah. Which one am I wearing to go to the grocery store, to go to Walmart, go to the coffee shop in town, where I might never make it past 30 miles an hour? Yeah. So yeah, if you have any experience with any of these and you would like to chime in, hit the comment section below. Please let us know what you think. Both of these are pretty brand new. They've only been out about a year, so there's still interesting feedback going on. But if you've had a pair, how'd you think? What do you think? Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? If you've had a pair of these, what are your thoughts? If you had both, what's your comparison between the two? Let me know. Take care, guys. Have fun. Stay safe. Keep riding.